Hello, I am your psychology mentor, Sung-hee Park. Everyone, the college entrance exam is just around the corner, and once it's over, it's time to make sure that current students, middle and high school students, study hard during their winter break. There are probably parents who feel this way. This video will be helpful for those parents. As a parent, you think that the winter break is very important. You believe that this is the time to improve grades. I think a lot of people have these thoughts, but I don't think he'll be able to keep up if I teach him alone. So, I think if I send him to a boarding school, even if it's a bit more expensive, his grades will really improve. But if you send them to a boarding academy, their grades do improve a bit, generally speaking. However, for those who don't improve, they still don't improve much. It's unfortunate. First, to ensure they have study time, we put them in uniforms, took away their phones, and had prestigious university teachers join each advertisement. So logically, their grades should improve, but focus, they can't really boost it well. Of course, to enhance focus, I created a psychology class to develop the optimal routine for improving students' concentration, and we train them at the academy. However, no matter how much we try to train them, the prerequisite is that they must clearly understand and be able to explain why they are studying and what benefits they gain from it. Only those who have completed this motivation can maximize their focus and improve their grades. So the most important thing is motivation. If this motivation is not achieved, no matter how much effort you pour in, like an endless fountain, the results will not come. So then, how do we motivate? Well, this is really difficult. There's a saying, what about self-directed learning? This term is widely used, but in 2004 I have been conducting psychology classes, and it is a term that emerged after that, as far as I remember, clearly. But it's just called self-directed learning. Honestly, think about how many people can actually do it on their own. It's difficult. To be self-directed, you need to be aware of the fundamental truths that must be understood beforehand, and only in a state where you can grasp the principles by which the world operates can you engage in self-directed learning. It's really challenging, but if you ask students to explain what kind of motivation they have, can they explain it? They probably won't be able to. To briefly explain motivation, there are two types. One is approach motivation, and the other is avoidance motivation. Approach motivation is wanting to live like this teacher, realizing that living this way is admirable. This motivation arises when you find your direction, and the other is avoidance motivation, like feeling too embarrassed to attend a certain university. And to avoid getting scolded by your parents, you have to study now. Trying to escape a certain situation like this is avoidance motivation. Which of the two motivations is stronger? It changes depending on the situation. But there is something I can tell you. There is a motivation that gradually weakens over time. And what is that motivation? Avoidance motivation. It gradually decreases in intensity. But what maintains its strength consistently over time is approach motivation. Approach motivation. Therefore, to ensure effective self-directed learning, approach motivation is necessary. This is the cool path, and this kind of life is admirable. In this way, a presence like Hee-sung should guide you, but unfortunately, I am not trying to criticize public education. My father also retired as a high school Korean language teacher, so I don't want to disparage it. However, it is a clear fact that schools have become quite chaotic. When I occasionally give lectures at public education institutions after the college entrance exam, I feel that every time. Unfortunately, it seems that there aren't many true mentors in public education right now, honestly. Since teachers refer to themselves as teachers, and students also use the term teacher a lot, children can't find someone who gives them a clear direction. In schools or public education institutions. The same goes for private education institutions. That's why children inevitably wander. Therefore, someone needs to guide them, and we must show them how to live like an adult. And a true mentor, this is how living a cool life looks like. We need to clearly demonstrate such principles and examples. I will work hard on this, and I will continue to live this way for the rest of my life. But now, what I'm saying is that while we talk about motivation and self-directed learning, there aren't many institutions that actually do it properly. So to give you some assurance, I want to tell you about a self-directed learning camp called Sang Study that I have. During winter and summer breaks, I work as the director of the mental academy at such camps. If you search for Pang Study, you'll find it, and we are currently recruiting for the winter camp. It's a camp where students can understand why they need to study and put in effort over 3 weeks. This time, due to my schedule, I won't be able to go much. But around the second week, I plan to go and directly motivate the students. I will make an effort to ensure they are sufficiently motivated. So, if you want to maximize your child's grades during the winter break, please register with Pang Study. I will go there and work hard to guide them to become even more outstanding students. Please, Properly motivate your children and show them how to motivate themselves so that they can approach things with enthusiasm and function well at home. Sending them to an academy or anything else in such a state would be appreciated. If there are no issues, going to an academy without that motivation will not lead to significant changes. I hope this has been helpful. I will see you again in the next video. Please subscribe, like, and set the notification bell. Always stay strong. Thank you.